Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday. So, kind of talk about something that I briefly touched on yesterday on the live stream, and figured I'd let more of you guys hear my thoughts on this one. Right now it's probably 9:30, quarter to 10, something like that on Tuesday night when I'm recording this. And at this point, we know some of the election results. Glenn Youngkin, the Republican, won Virginia. So did the GOP lieutenant governor. I mean, they run separately in Virginia. And Virginia also flipped the Attorney General's office. The Democrat incumbent lost, and the Republican won. So Virginia is now flipped red, which is the death knell for Joe Biden. I mean, this was a referendum on Biden, no doubt. Now, there were some other elections yesterday. The key ones were in Jersey. Jersey elected another Democrat governor, not a big surprise. You had the New York City mayoral election. Eric Adams won that one, not a big surprise. I mean, if New York City, was it Giuliani was the last Republican that won? That was 20 plus years ago. But here's the issue that I have, guys. And you look at these elections. Now, not talking, Eric Adams won 75% in New York City. Not a big deal, okay? But the elections in Virginia, in Jersey, and even if you go back to the last presidential election, these candidates are winning by slim margins. And that's scary, because what it's telling you is that the country is divided literally in half, okay? And as I said yesterday on the live stream, you look at the U.S. Senate, it's 50-50, split right down the middle. The House of Representatives is 4 seats away from being split 50-50. That tells you the direction of the United States. We're rudderless. You go back to when Reagan won, when he beat Carter, when he beat Mondale. I mean, he cleaned their clocks on both of them. We had a true direction that the majority of the country wanted to go. They wanted Reaganomics, not Carter or Mondale. Okay. Even George Bush Sr., okay, beat Michael Dukakis like a bastard stepchild, okay. Bill Clinton won pretty handily both times he ran, okay. We had direction that we were running, Not everybody liked it. Trust me, I was not a Bill Clinton fan, okay. But around 2000, things flipped. And we started getting tighter and tighter and tighter races. Now, leave out Obama. Obama won by decent-sized margins, but then again, he ran against probably 2 of the weakest candidates ever to run for the GOP, and John McCain and Mitt Romney, neither of which I'd call a Republican anyway, okay? So, Democrat versus Democrat, big deal. And then you look at the last 2 elections we've had, and they've been razor-thin margins, okay? This is the problem we have in the country, and this is why we have all these issues, be it cancel culture, be it CRT, be it the border, be whatever it would be. Because 50% wants to go one direction, and 50% wants to go the other direction. And there is no meeting in the middle, because there is no middle, okay? If it's 60-40 or something like that, the 40% doesn't really, nobody cares what they have to say. Go back to the 90s. Nobody gave a rat's ass about what anybody had to say. Tell me anything about the Bill Clinton presidency except for Monica Lewinsky. If you leave that out, tell me anything about the Bill Clinton presidency. You can't, because nobody really cared. It was going to be that direction, and that was it. Okay? But you go into anything else, go into the tight ones, go into Bush, go into Trump, go into whatever would be, And now you start picking up this and this and this and this because you had both sides, 50% saying everything was good and 50% bitching. If only 40% is on the losing side, nobody listens to them. So you had a direction. That's where we are right now. We are rudderless. We have no direction. And then, of course, we get, the chump in chief here, who is rudderless in his personal life. I mean, Joe can't figure out his way to the bathroom without a map. But, you have two sides of the media, okay? I mean, again, go back in history. Walter Cronkite, okay? Everybody trusted Cronkite. Cronkite was a liberal, okay? But he held it pretty good. I mean, he was at least trusted by both sides. Not 100%, but at least he was genuine, all right? Even if you go back to, later online, Peter Jennings or Dan Rather before he went off the reservation, they kept their commentary in check. We don't have that anymore. You can't turn on the news. Y'all know this. You can't turn on the news without it being 24/7 opinion. I mean, it's the editorial page, okay? There is no news page anymore to the newspapers, to the TV news, anything. But the reason is because we are so 50-50. Half the people agree, half the people disagree. And that's why we have a fight. You're not going to have those fights when you're 60-40 because the 40% goes, we're freaking outnumbered. But when it's 51-49, it's too even of a fight. So everybody goes. And this is why we have no rudder, no direction. And it puts all of this animosity between people, between neighbors, between coworkers, between, anybody, parents and teachers. I mean, use Virginia as a perfect example for that one. But both sides think they're right, think they have the numbers, and think they can do it. All right. Again, Michael Dukakis had no thoughts he was going to win. Okay. Walter Mondale had no thoughts he was going to win. I mean, they knew they were getting their clock cleaned. I mean, they were just the sacrificial lamb that was thrown up. They knew it. Okay. It wasn't any big deal. But now you have all these fights, which means half the country is for CRT, half the country's against, half the country's for open borders, half the country's against. And what does that leave us? This leads us directly into what I have said over and over and over again. It's balkanization. I know so many people say, oh, it'll never happen, we'll never break up, everything like that. Don't count on it. The average empire lasts around 200 years. The United States has been around 250. Change is coming, guys. With everything going on with China, with everything going on again between Russia and Ukraine, with everything going on in the Middle East, all right, everybody, all these countries are just sitting back going like this, going, yeah, they're falling right into our hands. They're going to collapse upon themselves, and then we're just going, whoosh, right in we go. Just be prepared for that, guys, because you are going to wake up one day and you're going to turn on the news and go, holy crap, what happened overnight? In the macro picture, that's what you're prepping for, guys. The economics are going to drive it there. The division in this country is going to be the death of us. Not optimistic news for Wednesday morning, huh? But it's kind of what I see going on. And yesterday, Virginia especially kind of really told me what I'm seeing is not that incorrect. Have a good Wednesday. Pinball out.